Order. Sergeant Arms will please secure the chamber doors. Members, please take your seats. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. President.
All right, Senators, we are very pleased on this beautiful, just sunny Thursday, February 6th, to have Assistant Pastor Henry White of the Church of the Nativity from Timonium, Maryland, guest of the distinguished senator from the 11th District. Please rise for the invocation.
Please bow your heads. Almighty and eternal source of life, we gather today with a profound sense of responsibility, hope, and purpose as we step into the work set before us today. In the stillness of this moment, we ask for your presence to guide us, enlighten us, and strengthen us for the tasks ahead. Let this assembly be marked by wisdom, humility, and a deep commitment to the common good. Remind us, O God, that our purpose here is greater than ourselves, that we're entrusted with the well-being of the people that we serve. Help us to be faithful stewards of this trust, seeking always to act with integrity, fairness, and compassion. Grant us the ability to listen more than we speak, to hear not just words, but the hearts of those around us. In our differences, help us to find unity. In our disagreements, help us to uncover shared values. May every discussion be rooted in mutual respect, and may we approach every decision with an awareness of its impact on the lives of those who depend on us. Inspire us to lift up those who are struggling, to be a voice for the voiceless, and to protect the most vulnerable among us. May we recognize that true strength lies in serving others, and that our greatest achievements are measured not in personal gain, but in the flourishing of the communities that we serve. With gratitude and humility, we lift this prayer to you. Bless this gathering, guide our hearts and minds, and may your wisdom lead us in all that we do. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Recognizing the senator from District 11.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's an honor to recognize Henry White today, whose journey of faith, leadership, and services brought him here to us. He's a Maryland native, proud graduate of Calvert Hall College High School, class of 2020. He went on to the Virginia Military Institute, where he studied psychology, and during his time at VMI, he experienced a profound deepening of his faith, one that shaped his path in meaningful ways. Following his graduation, he felt called to serve in the ministry and now works at the Church of the Nativity in Timonium, one of the largest Catholic parishes in the Archdiocese, with an average weekly attendance of 5,000 people, both in person and online. It's a growing faith community dedicated to engaging people in worship and service, and Henry helps to support his mission and to support that mission. I'm grateful to have him here today and ask that we journalize his invocation. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator. We will, without objection, most certainly journalize the invocation this morning, and thank you for being here with us to start the day. All right, has everyone recorded their presence? It appears so. The clerk will take the call. With 42 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland is again in session. We have several resolutions today. Let's start with the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the honor this morning of honoring Larry Unger from Maryland Public Television, MPT. Many of you know over the years, my chairman, I'm sure, I've driven him crazy, making sure we had funding for MPT to keep it going. And sometimes it's been a challenge, but it has been such an enormous pleasure working with Larry Unger all these years. And I think it's nice that he's going to get to retire, except that I will really miss working with him. I'm sure all of us here have watched some of the fantastic programs that have come on for Maryland Public Television, and they continue to do so. And as you're flicking through the channels, you can always find something on MPT. If there's nothing else on, MPT's always got something interesting to click on. So Larry, you will be greatly missed as the president, but we hope that you'll stay in touch with us anyway. I have a resolution here, if the clerk could read it.
Clerk will read the resolution in full.
Be it hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers sincere congratulations to Larry Unger, President and CEO of Maryland Public Television, in recognition of your retirement after more than 24 years at Maryland Public Television. We commend your service and dedication to improving Maryland's statewide public television network. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution be presented on the 6th day of February, 2025.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? If so, the clerk will take the call. To Mr. Larry Younger, thank you so much. The Senate of Maryland unanimously celebrates your 27 years of service to the Maryland Public Television Corporation and are so thankful for the incredible work that you've done for the people of Maryland. Thank you so much and congratulations. Senator from District 11.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I have known Larry my entire time in public office. MPT is in my district. He has been a wonderful, wonderful advocate for Maryland Public Television. Wonderful addition in the community. He lives just outside my district, but we won't hold that against him. But he really contributes in so many ways, and well-deserved retirement this summer. Thank you for everything.
Well said, well said. Very true. All right, let's go to the, Senator from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Mr. President. My wife is on the MPT Foundation, and I will say that frequently she says nicer things about Larry Unger than she does about me. Congratulations.
Oh, very good, very good. All right, let's see. Let's go to the senator from the Lower Eastern Shore.
Good morning, colleagues. This is Skills USA Week, so please join me in welcoming the leadership of Skills USA in Maryland. Worcester County Technical High School student Hayden Flores is in state leadership, and he's focusing on mechanical engineering. Rick Stevens, who I've known for several years, an instructor at Worcester Technical High School, has built the Skills USA program to close to 900 students in Worcester County. He is also joined by Charlene Zinner from Dorchester County, a state officer with Skills USA in Maryland, and Chuck Wallace from the Maryland Department of Education. And just to remind everybody, Skills USA students are among America's most highly skilled career and technical education students. And this really highlights these Maryland students who are career ready. So I appreciate us congratulating them and recognizing these achievements and encouraging more students to be part of Skills USA.
Excellent, and the clerk will read the resolution in full.
be it hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to Worcester Technical High School Skills USA program in recognition of your outstanding achievements in robotics, automotive repair, and mathematics at the championship at the 2024 Skills USA National Leadership in Skills Conference. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution be presented on the 6th day of February 2025.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? It appears so. Clerk will take the call. To the Worcester Technical High School Skills USA program and our wonderful representatives here, the Senate of Maryland unanimously celebrates your excellent work and the National Leadership and Skills Conference of this last year. Congratulations. All right, Senator from Harford County and Cecil.
Thank you, Mr. President. This week is one of my favorite weeks of the year. It's Maryland Ag Week, and so far this week we've enjoyed such things as Chicken Day, Farm Bureau Day in Annapolis, and this evening at Live Casino and Hotel we'll have Taste of Maryland, where we'll get to sample ag products from all over the state. I'd like to just remind everybody that our number one industry in the state of Maryland is agriculture, number one commercial industry, providing numerous jobs and keeping food on the plates for us to feed our families and for our fellow citizens. I'm glad to be joined today by Jamie Raley, who's the president of the Maryland Farm Bureau, and by Mary Lou Brown, who is representing Delmarva Chicken Association. And we thank you and thank all the hard work done by farmers across the state of Maryland on a daily basis.
All right, the clerk will read the resolution in full.
Be it hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to the Maryland Farm Bureau in recognition of Maryland Agriculture Week, celebrating Maryland farmers and the economic impact they have on every county in the state. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution be presented on the 6th day of February, 2025.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? If we could help our, all right, we get the Team Ag here for the photo. The clerk will take the call. In celebration of Maryland Agriculture Week, we celebrate the Maryland farmers who represent the state so incredibly well and their incredible economic impact, and thank the Maryland Farm Bureau for the amazing advocacy. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Yep. All right. We have one more resolution, which is my own resolution. Some 46 district residents who are here together, but we are specifically thanking Katie and recognizing her for her incredible week. You may recognize her. She's been on television quite a bit this summer, and on June 26th, she swam a 26-mile from Sandy Point State Park in the Chesapeake Bay all the way through the Key Bridge and into the Inner Harbor. It was one of these kind of remarkable moments in June that the whole kind of city and region were able to celebrate. First time it has ever been done. This is after she has swum, it was the English Channel around Manhattan Island and across the Catalina Channel in California. And so she was the first one to do the Sandy Park to the Inner Harbor, as all of the great work to make it clean enough to be able to swim in the Inner Harbor. And despite the bridge coming down and delays, she was able to do just a remarkable effort and really inspired folks throughout the region. And so we're so thankful that you could be here with us today, and we have a resolution in your honor. Clerk will read the resolution in full.
be it hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to Katie Pumphrey in recognition of being the first person to complete a 24-mile swim from the Chesapeake Bay to the Baltimore Inner Harbor. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution be presented on the 6th day of February, 2025.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 43 votes in the affirmative, Katie, we are so thankful for your incredible work and congratulate you on your remarkable accomplishment. Congratulations. And actually, she's not prepared for this. Katie, if you could come up really quickly, if you could just give us you said the most inspiring thing one time when we were talking at the Fells Point Fun Festival about what you saw at the very end. If you could just join up here and kind of give that message. She's also joined by Joe Mahawk, who's also a good friend and supporter and has been an incredible champion to make it possible. But Katie's final go into the end was quite inspiring. So I want to hand it over.
Hello. Yes, thank you. The 24-mile swim from the Bay Bridge into the Inner Harbor. I've done a lot of swims in many cities around the world, but doing a swim into my home and the great city of Baltimore was amazing. As we got closer and closer, there were just more and more Marylanders out cheering. So many people with signs, a lot of young girls, and so many people out. And as we got closer in to the harbor, more people joined on the water, more people were lining the shore, and there were hundreds of people at the finish cheering on a stranger, which was amazing. And I'm so thankful to my team, my husband Joe, Waterfront Partnership, an amazing nonprofit in Baltimore that's supporting the health of the harbor. And it was just the coolest thing to see our city and our state gather and support not only a swimmer doing something really cool, and I'm really proud of that, but just our community and what we're able to do together. So it was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got to follow up. We'll get after. So Katie also is a swim coach, and she's been pushing me to get to join to swim the bay one of these times. We'll see. One time we'll see. Yes, a senator from Cecil and Hartford.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had a correction on my introduction when
Yes.
I introduced Miss Mary Lou Brown. She's actually the president of the Delmarva Chicken Association. I just wanted to note that and make that correction.
Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you. All right, introduction. Senator from District 7.
Thank you, Mr. President. Keeping with the farm discussion today in ag, we actually have a group up in the balcony, Lead Maryland. This is a group, they come every couple years. It's a fellowship that gets together. It's a class. It's actually Lead Fellow Group 13. This is the 13th class. I'm actually a graduate of Lead 4. Thank you there, sir. This year is 23 fellows. They're in it's a 2-year fellowship. They meet about every few months. They get together. It's a couple days, and cumulatively, they do about 40 hours worth of training. They go over all kinds of leadership, public issues, state, local government, civil discourse, network building. You know, they're trying to understand and do the best they can to help agriculture in the state. There are constituents. They're from all over the state, everywhere from Garrett County to the Eastern Shore. They've been down here for the last few days. They're going to be at Ag tonight, the Ag dinner. So when you're out, please see them. I spoke to them last night. I think, Mr. President, you're going to be speaking with them later today. So they're your constituents. So if you get a chance today, please say hi to them if you see them tonight. But it's Lead Class 13. They're here for this week. So thanks. Give them a warm welcome.
Welcome, welcome. We'll see you all later this afternoon. Looking forward to the discussion. All right, additional introductions? Any other introductions? Yes, Senator from District 11.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Please join me in welcoming volunteers and staff from the United Way of Central Maryland, who will be meeting with legislators virtually today to advocate for policies to help Maryland families. They were a little nervous about the weather, so all of our in-person meetings have been switched to virtual. Thank
Got
you.
it. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Welcome. And Senator from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Mr. President. Joining us in the gallery above you, Mr. President, is a large delegation from Interfaith Works. Interfaith Works is Montgomery County's preeminent social services organization. They provide shelter care, food assistance, cash assistance, and they've been doing it for 35 years. They are always led by their values and their faith. Please welcome Interfaith Works.
Welcome to Interfaith Works. Welcome. Senator from the Capital City.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, we're joined today by a shadow student, Maya Foy Filer. Maya is a 16-year-old student from South River High School in Anne Arundel County. She's also studying at the Center for Applied Technology and a dual-enrolled student at Anne Arundel Community College. Maya is a high school travel soccer player. She also is a part of a team that has won a Division I title. Maya is a person who's well accomplished. She's nearing the completion of her HVAC and welding certifications at the Center of Applied Technology, and she's won numerous awards for that distinctions on local and statewide levels. Maya is interested in politics and a career in the law one day, so please help me welcome her to the Maryland Senate. Thank you.
Welcome, Maya. Welcome. Enjoy. Very good. All right, I think that does it for introductions. Any others before we jump in? If not, so we consider the reading of the journal from the prior legislative day. We will start with some bond initiatives. This is calendar 21. Clerk will read the bond initiatives.
Number 1, Senator M. Washington, ACTC, New Community Hub, Budget and Taxation.
Majority Leader moves so we consider the reading of the bond initiatives. They will be referred to the Capital Budget Subcommittee. We now have second readers out of Budget and Tax. This is calendar number 2. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 62, Senator Lewis Young, Task Force on Education Funding and Student Population Growth, favorable.
Recognizing the bill sponsor as the floor leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. SB 62 establishes a task force on education funding and student population growth. Roughly about every 5 years, we relook this formula based on trends and challenges at the time. This particular issue disproportionately negatively affects communities with rapidly growing student population because of the timing and the difference between the head count and the actual delivery of the budget. So this bill to set up a task force, look at best practices around the country, and make recommendations was unanimously passed by the committee, and there are no amendments, so I move for adoption of the favorable committee report.
All right, floor leader moves for the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, Senate Bill 62 is hereby ordered printed for third reading. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 204, Chair, Budget and Taxation Committee, Property Tax Deadlines to Set County and Municipal Corporation Tax Rates, Alteration, favorable with one amendment.
Recognizing Chair of the Committee is the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 204 is a departmental bill for SSTAT. As amended, it alters the date by which county and municipal governments must set their property tax rates for upcoming fiscal year by moving the date from July 1st to June 20th. There's one committee amendment that actually does what I just said, move it from the to the 20th. This is just trying to make it easier to ensure that everybody has the right information to ensure that our property owners get the property tax credits that they deserve in a timely manner. We went back and forth with MML, with MACO, and this is the date that we ultimately came to.
All right.
Move approval of the.
All right. The Chair moves for the adoption of the one committee amendment and the favorable committee report. On the amendment, any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the one committee amendment is adopted. Question now is on the amended report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the amended report is adopted. Are there any further amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, Senate Bill 204 is hereby ordered printed for third reading. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 295, Senator McCray, Income Tax Reconciliation Program, Established Maryland Fair Taxation and Justice Involved Individuals Act, favorable.
Recognize the bill sponsor is the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 295 establishes an income tax reconciliation program administered by the Comptroller to allow justice-involved individuals who are unable to file state income tax while incarcerated to establish an installment payment plan and receive a waiver of accrued interest and penalties for tax years 2025 through 2029. Individuals serving 6 months to 10-year sentence can apply to participate. The Comptroller must collaborate with the respective Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services to develop a related awareness campaign and adopt program regulations. This bill takes effect July 1st, 2025. Mr. President, there is no amendments, and just a simple another way that this legislature is removing arbitrary barriers for those that have faced some level of incarceration. Move adoption of the favorable committee report, Mr. President.
Floor leader moves for the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, Senate Bill 295 is hereby ordered printed for third reading. Before we go to the next one, let's recognize the senator from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Mr. President. I misspoke when I introduced my good friends from Interfaith Works and transposed some numbers. They've been doing this for over half a century, 53 years.
53, not 35, right? 53.
Correct. Thank you,
Excellent.
Mr. President.
We appreciate those 53 years. Thank you for those 53 years. All right. Let's take up the next bill, Madam Clerk.
Senate Bill 359, Senator King, Therapeutic Child Care Grant Program, Funding Alterations, favorable with one amendment.
I recognize the bill sponsor is the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 359 reestablishes a mandated appropriation for the Therapeutic Child Care Grant Program administered by the Maryland State Department of Education. As amended, the governor must include a $3.7 million appropriation for the program in the annual budget bill for fiscal years 2027, 28, and 29. Committee amendments, there is one amendment that strikes the provision that would have made the mandate permanent and instead sets the mandate for 3 fiscal years. I move adoption of the committee report, the committee amendment, and the favorable committee report.
All right, floor leader moves for the adoption of the one committee amendment and the favorable committee report. On the amendment, any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the one committee amendment is adopted. Question now on the amended report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report as amended is adopted. Are there any further amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, Senate Bill 359 is hereby ordered printed for third reading. All right, let's go to, we have a report from the Committee on Executive Nominations. This is report number 2. Clerk, read the report.
Report number 2, the Senate Executive Nominations Committee reports favorably on the attached appointments and recommends the Senate of Maryland advise and consent to these appointments. Clarence K. Lamb, Chair.
All right. Our board is at open to amendment. Just want to make sure we're excellent. Okay. Let's recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Calendar number 2 is a calendar that includes some of the recess appointments that were made by the Appointments Office and the Governor over the interim. This is a list of nominees that we had heard this past Monday evening. The names of the nominees can be found in your floor system under the Other Business tab. I request that we consider these nominees in regular session under Rule 22A and move that we special order this report until the appropriate time on Friday, February 7th.
All right, the chair moves that we hear this nominees in open session and that we special order them until Monday. I missed it.
Monday's fine too.
What did the senator say?
I said Friday, February 7th, tomorrow.
Friday. We have a pro forma. That's what I was.
Well, that's great.
So
we'll do this on Monday.
So Monday, February 9th, 10th? 10th, all right. Let's take it up on, any objections? Without objection, we will hear it in open session and take up the nominees on Monday, the 10th. All right, let's see, we've got special order calendar number 4. Clerk will read the bill.
Senate Bill 123, Senator Simon Ayer, boating accidents, duty to remain at the scene, render assistance, and provide information. Penalties. Bill is on second reading and open to amendment.
Recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have amendment at the desk.
Senator has amendment. Pages will collect and distribute the senator's amendment. We're going to putting them to work this week. Getting the steps in. Not like the 12th week, but, you know. All right, Senator, just give us just a moment until we can get the amendments out. Oh, Senator will explain the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. This amendment is designed to address some concerns raised by the senator from District 29, who is a former DNR law enforcement officer. It essentially just says that you have to stop the vessel as close as possible to the incident, just to address some of the concerns that things that happen on open water, you might not be able to stop and remain on that scene. So I'd move for the adoption of the amendment. And thank the sponsor of the bill and the senator from District 29 for their cooperation.
Excellent. All right, the senator moves the amendment. Any further discussion of the amendment? Any objections to the amendment? Without objection, the amendment is adopted. Are there further amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, Senate Bill 123 is hereby ordered printed for third reading. All right. Let's do a quorum call, Madam Clerk, before we take up third readers.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. So close, so close. With 45 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland remains in session. This is third reading calendar number 4. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 11, Senator Watson, Organized Retail Theft Act of 2025.
Senate Bill 11 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 11, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 40, Senator Muse, Vehicle Laws, Towed, Removed, or Abandoned Vehicles, Electronic Notice to Owner.
Senate Bill 40 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 40, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 47, Senator Guile, State Board of Physical Therapy Examiners, Revisions.
Senate Bill 47 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 47, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 121, Senator A. Washington, Vehicle Laws, Noise Abatement Monitoring Systems Pilot Program, Inspection and Extension.
Senate Bill 121 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 121, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 125, Senator Guile, Residential Real Property Local Limits on Summoning Law Enforcement or Emergency Services.
Senate Bill 125 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 125, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 138, Senator Kagan, Public Safety, Maryland 911 Board and Maryland Department of Emergency Management Regulatory Authority.
Senate Bill 138 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 138, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 157, Senator Simon Ayer, Maryland Disability Service Animal Program, established.
Senate Bill 157 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 157, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 160, Senator Waldstreicher, Residential Property Assignment of Contract of Sale Disclosure Requirements and Recession.
Senate Bill 160 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 160, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. All right, we've got another third reading calendar, number 5. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 183, Chair, Budget and Tax, State Department of Assessments and Taxation, Notification of Constant Yield Tax Rate Alteration.
Senate Bill 183 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 183, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 209, Chair, Finance Committee, State Commissioner of Real Estate Appraisals, Appraisal Management Companies, and Home Inspectors, Sunset Extension and Report.
Senate Bill 209 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 209, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 212, Chair, Finance Committee, Department of Aging, Aging Services, Program Appeal and Consolidation.
Senate Bill 212 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 212, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 213, Chair, Finance Committee, Health, Maternal and Child Health Population Health Improvement Fund, use.
Senate Bill 213 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 213, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 217, Chair, Finance Committee, Health Occupations Boards, Membership Alteration and Sunset Extensions.
Senate Bill 217 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 217, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 228, Chair, Finance Committee, Limited Line of Credit Insurance Qualification of Applicants.
Senate Bill 228 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 228, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 248, Chair, Education, Energy and the Environment Committee, Department of Service and Civic Innovation, Maryland Core Program Service Year Option Pathways Revisions.
Senate Bill 248 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 248, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 255, Chair, Education, Energy and the Environment Committee, Military Department Chief of Staff and Aides Appointment Authority.
Senate Bill 255 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 255, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. All right, desk is clear. Desk is clear. Let's check with Minority Whip.
Mr. President, I have a vote change. I wanted to change my vote on Senate Bill 183 from yay to nay.
All right, we're going to get the slip over to you for the vote change. That was Senate Bill 183 from yay to nay. All right. Any further adjustments? If not, let's go with the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finance will meet at 1 o'clock today with 8 bills and then followed by a voting session.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Chair of Education, Energy, and the Environment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tripoli will meet at 1 p.m. We've got 11 bills, again, for hearings and followed immediately by a voting session.
Excellent, thank you. Chair of Budget and Tax.
Thank you, Mr. President. The three prime committees will be, subcommittees will be meeting at 1 today and then again at 11:30 tomorrow.
Excellent. All right, Chair of Judicial Proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Judicial Proceedings Committee will meet today at 1 p.m. for bill hearings. Tomorrow we'll do bill hearings we'll do voting at 10 a.m. and then bill hearings following that.
Excellent. All right. Yes, Chair of Executive Nominations.
The Executive Nominations Committee will meet on Monday at 5 p.m. in the Amos hearing room.
Yes, Chair of the Rules Committee.
Baltimore County
Baltimore County
Delegation
Delegation.
will be meeting Monday at 3 o'clock, and we will have the Superintendent of Baltimore County Public Schools. Thank
Excellent. Protocol?
Anne Arundel County,
Anne Arundel County
delegation.
Delegation. Yes, right.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Anne Arundel County delegation will be meeting tomorrow, February 6th, 7th at 2 p.m. in the Finance Committee conference room
All
in
right.
person. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, Baltimore City Delegation.
Thank you. Mr. President, the Baltimore City Delegation will be meeting Monday at 4 p.m. in the Neal Room in James.
Excellent. All right. Howard County Delegation.
The Howard County Senate Delegation will be meeting immediately after this floor session in the Silver Room.
All right. Any further delegations? Senator from the 29th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. Point of personal privilege.
Senator may proceed.
Thank you. Colleagues, I wanted to talk just a moment. We all have sad times in our lives, and yesterday I went down to Friendship in the morning, and I met with a co-worker of mine, Marilyn Ford, and she had worked almost 40 years for DNR, and I remember when her daughter Hillary was born. And yesterday they laid Hillary to rest. She was a vibrant young girl. She had 3 young children, and she simply had been diagnosed with the flu last week. And as a result of the medicine, and there was some other complications that arise, but she lost her life. And I was going to ask that we recess in her honor today, and I was also going to use this just as a point to let everybody know that take your vitamin C, try to make sure that we get a good night's sleep and we keep these flu bugs away as we move forward. But thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And do we have, Madam Majority Leader, do we have the name? Okay, wonderful. Excellent. We will certainly recess in her honor. All right, let's, Senator from the 37th District.
Is it the appropriate time for protocol announcements?
Sure.
Okay. So permission to use the senator's name?
Senator may proceed.
So today we have, colleagues, we have a birthday to celebrate. And it's not just one of our colleagues. I just want to put it into perspective. Today is the birthday for musical enthusiasts. Axl Rose has a birthday today. Bob Marley, the Bob Marley, has a birthday today. For those of us in the minority, and for the whole chamber, Ronald Reagan has a birthday today. And what means a lot for Maryland, we also have a birthday today for Babe Ruth. But those are all in history, and we're going to add to that history because our very own Chairman Will Smith, is celebrating his birthday, so he's joining all those celebrities.
As always, no place he'd rather be. Right here, right here. Excellent. Uh-oh. All right. Let's see. Senator from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, colleagues. It's an honor to stand before you today as we recognize and celebrate Black History Month, a time to reflect on the profound contribution of Black Americans to our nation, our state, and our communities. Black history is American history, woven into the fabric of our society, shaping the ideals of democracy, justice, and resilience that we hold dear. Here in Maryland, Black history is deeply rooted in our past and continues to shape our present. As the birthplace of Harriet Tubman, the fearless conductor of the Underground Railroad, and Frederick Douglass, one of the greatest voices for abolition and equity, Maryland has been home to giants in the fight for justice. These individuals were not just icons of their time, they were visionaries whose courage and determination helped transform our course of history. But history does not belong solely to the past, it lives with us today. And in the movement for equality, in the leaders who rise from our communities, and in the everyday contributions of Black Marylanders across all sectors: education, business, science, the arts, and public service. Black History Month is a time for celebration, but it is also a time for reflection. As we honor the accomplishments of Black Americans, we must also recognize the barriers that still exist. The fight for civil rights did not end with the marches of the 1960s. It continues today, and in the pursuit of equal opportunities in education, economic advancement, healthcare, and justice, Maryland has made significant strides in expanding opportunities for all of its residents. But we must remain committed to ensuring that the progress we have made is not lost. Our state is stronger when every person, regardless of race, of background, or socioeconomic class, has the opportunity to succeed. That requires action, not just from us policy makers, but from all stakeholders. One of the most powerful ways we can honor Black history is through education. The story of Black pioneers, inventors, scholars, and activists must not be relegated to the sidelines of history books, but must be central to the way we teach and understand our shared past. Maryland schools, libraries, and cultural institutions have a duty to preserve and share this history so that future generations understand the struggle and triumphs that have paved the way for today's freedoms. The education is just not for Black students, it's for all students. And because knowledge of history fosters understanding, unity, and progress. As we commemorate Black History Month, let us ask ourselves, how can we contribute to the legacy of those who came before us? How can we continue the work of justice, equality, and empowerment? We can support Black-owned businesses that contribute to our local economy and create jobs in the communities. We can advocate for policies to promote fairness and opportunity for all Marylanders. We can mentor and uplift young people, ensuring that they see themselves in the leaders of today and tomorrow. And most importantly, we can listen, learn, and commit ourselves to fostering a more inclusive and just society. Black History Month is not just a time for remembering, it's a time for action. It's a time to honor the sacrifices of the past by shaping a future that is brighter, more just, and more inclusive. Maryland has been and always will be a place where history is made. It's up to us to ensure that the legacy of Black history continues to be one of strength, perseverance, and triumph. Thank you, and may we all continue to walk forward together in the spirit of justice and unity. And one last thought. As I gaze amongst this chamber, I'm reminded of those three Latin utterances, e pluribus unum, out of many one, which is the hallmark of our nation, the essence of our democracy, the very substance of our common creed. A good nation is formed by contribution from all people, all races, all socioeconomic classes, all ecclesiastical entanglements, and all philosophical viewpoints. We can't multiply by dividing, and we can't add by subtraction. The Holy Father says that teaches us to seek symmetry. That means we need to balance the external with the internal. And in doing such, as we aspire, let us inspire those who are behind us. As we congregate, let us appreciate those who are among us. And as we celebrate, let us commemorate those who have gone before us. Taking these practices and exercising them in a proper spirit will validate our acts of piety. Thank you, Mr. President, for allowing me this Black History moment.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Well said.
That was a sermon. Good job, brother.
Recognizing the Senator from Charles County.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request that the gentleman's comments and speech be journalized.
Without objection, most certainly. We appreciate his wonderful remarks and help us center ourselves in this important Black History Month. And in that vein, want to recognize the senator from the 45th District very briefly. Many folks have probably walked through the Miller second floor and want to recognize the senator from the 45th for helping to arrange a fantastic display and exhibit that's come together that we were able to put together for this whole month. And it's just, I was able to see it yesterday. It's phenomenal, and just appreciate the senator's efforts to help us make this happen. So thank you very much. Thank you. President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. President. Those are really inspiring words from the senator from Baltimore County. Just so grateful for that. Colleagues, during the month of February, as we celebrate Black History Month, I've been asked a couple times, what is it that the Black senators are wearing on their stoles that they're wearing? And what I wanted to share with the body is that this is a kente cloth, and that the kente cloth, for those of you who do not know, origins are from Ghana in Africa in the 12th century. And they were worn as an adornment for kings and queens on special occasions to commemorate celebration and to uplift the people that they represent. And here in the United States, African Americans wear the kente cloth to show our connection to the people of Africa and to demonstrate that we are connected in our history and the strength of our history. And so we very much wear this with pride, and we're looking forward to more moments over the course of this month in celebration of Black history. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you for that. Thank you. All right, we are almost there. I want to make sure we have a chance to recognize our pages before, since we're doing the pro forma. Yes, I recognize Senator from the 37th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I apologize. I should have done this a little sooner. Colleagues, we've had a wonderful week with the support of our pages, and let's give them a big round of applause. The first page, well, here we go. We're going to do one by one. District 15, Clarksburg High School, Layla Bidyecki. Layla? District 30, Broadneck High School, Julian Hallman. District 9, Howard High School, Jean Lee. Jean? District 24, Bowie High School, Lydia Murray. District 28, Maurice J. McDonough High School, Ava Rolich. District 11, Towson High School, Serena Saki. District 36, homeschooled student, Sophia Sultan-Fuss. And my district, District 37, Colonel Richardson High School, Carly Van Skyke. Thank you, Pages.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you to the Pages. We're also joined by the House Pages, so welcome to the House Pages here. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you all back on week 10. Week 10. Yes, Senator from the 28th.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say that Ava, the Page from Charles County, her mom worked with my wife at McDonough High School many years ago, and she came up to me and said, "Hey, you're Senator Ellis," and reminded me of that fact. So want to definitely recognize that and say thank you for being here. And also, may I add, Mr. President, that
Please.
Tonight is District 28 night in Miller Conference Room, and all your colleagues are welcome. So please stop on by.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Senator. This evening. What time is that? What time? 5:30?
6 p.m.
6 o'clock.
The
6
doors
o'clock.
open at 6 p.m. tonight.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. We have one last piece of business since it's a pro forma tomorrow. We have Super Bowl 60 coming up this Sunday, and so we're going to see who's right and who's wrong, who has a good vote and who has a bad vote. We're gonna see how this plays out. So we're gonna. Are we ready, Madam Clerk, with a green vote? The right vote will be for the Eagles. A red vote, the wrong vote, will be for the Chiefs. Who do we think is going to win? Who do we think is going to win? The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Look at all those sad Commanders fans, sad Ravens fans.
Mr. President,
yes, recognizing
I'd like
the
to
chair of the
encourage
Eagles
some
caucus.
of those red votes to reconsider. Or the yellow ones. I mean, let's make a stand here. Let's go. Go Birds. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right.
Mr.
Clerk
President,
will take the call.
Oh, okay, you got the call.
Oh, right. Oh.
Well, I was going to
Well,
say,
yes,
I was going to
explain his vote.
remind
Yes,
that
the
last
other-
year we did this, and actually the vote on the board was one vote away from the actual final score.
Yes.
So I just want to see that count.
Exactly. So the betting line is being set here. All right. The clerk will take the call by a vote of 24 for the Eagles and 11 for the Chiefs. All right. Looks like we are just barely passes. Narrowly on the skin of its teeth. We'll see. Excellent. All right. I think that does it. Madam Clerk, if we could do a quorum call before we adjourn.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 42 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland remains in session. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate of Maryland stand adjourned until Friday, February 7th for a pro forma session at 11 a.m. and adjourning today in honor of Hillary Marion Riggins of Friendship, Maryland.
Without objection, so ordered. Have a wonderful and productive day, everyone.